Hey, this week's episode, we're going to talk about hat pins. Back in the 80s, it was cool if you wore a hat, a trucker style hat with a hat pin. Hey, in this week's episode, we're going to talk about hat pins. I dug out my collection of hat pins. I'm probably missing a few. I think I got a pretty good collection. But back in the 80s, this was my favorite hat. I only wore this when I went to car shows and truck shows and special occasions because it was a special hat to me. Some of you might remember the logo. Those of you that was from the Indiana and Michigan area knew about Hall's Off-Road. They had a truck that they named Red Devil. It was their monster truck. It was only on deuce and a halves. It later became Pure Pride. They sold it to a guy in Indiana and he changed it to white and turned it into Pure Pride. But these were some of the hat pins I had when I was a kid. I was so proud of them. You know, I got an All-American when I seen it. There's old Chevy's Never Die, a High Rider Chevy logo. Of course, I was into three-wheelers back then, so I got some three-wheeler pins. But over here, you can see I've got the Bigfoot hat pin, which I think was the first one they came out with, or maybe not the first one, but it was probably my first availability to getting one. And then here's a Taurus hat pin where he's crushing a bus. I wish that one would have been bigger back in the day, but you know, it was still pretty cool. So then through the years, I've picked them up as often as I could find them, and a little bit hard to find sometimes, but here's an Eagle, the Spikers Eagle. That one was a pretty cool hat pin. The Spikers had some pretty neat stuff out there. Also, there was some pretty cool ones. This one here reminds me of Bigfoot 1, but without any logos on it. And here we've actually got, I think, Bigfoot 1. And then we got, I found some pretty cool ones through the years on eBay and different things. Here's a USA 1. Now here is a King Kong from back in the day, and then recently I found this one, and I think it's a stolen King Kong. I think they redid the original artwork and changed it up. Here's a King Kong on the old 48s, and here's an Awesome Kong one. That one's pretty awesome too. So, you know, back in the day, it was really, we didn't have the internet like we have now and all the different ways of getting stuff now. So you typically had to see the trucks to be able to get a hat pin. Here's a Flying High, which he was out on the West Coast. So I only remember ever getting to see him was in 1984 when he had it at the Indianapolis Jamboree. And he didn't have hat pins at that point. So I bought this one, I think, on eBay. You know, if you keep watching, sometimes you can find them. Here's an Excalibur. We got to actually see Excalibur a lot because he was just right here in our area. So I got to see Excalibur a lot. Here was a generic Bigfoot one. I saw Bigfoot. That was kind of a generic one, but that was an early on one. It's got the picture of Bigfoot out in the... Now here's one a few years ago that I guess Feld came out with, or somebody, I don't remember who, but it's a Gravedigger. I think it's kind of a generic one. But and then here was Off-Road Magazine came out with a generic monster truck. A lot of people had the generic monster trucks. Here was another High Rider one. Now this one here, I always thought was funny. I loved it, but I was always frustrated that the artist had issues. But this was an early Barefoot one, and you can see the artist had issues, and they had it was almost kind of a mess up because the wheels and the axles are kind of messed up. But it's still neat to be able to say you got a Barefoot hat pin. Now later, this one came out, and I know that was Barefoot, but they didn't, you know, ask for permission or anything. So basically, it's kind of a generic Barefoot that wasn't a legal one. Now this one here is really cool. You didn't hardly ever find these ones, but this was the original Godzilla. And I was always a Chevy guy, so there's only a few Fords that was really my favorites. And one of the favorite Fords was Godzilla. The thing was just so enormous and big. I just loved that truck. Then we got a Stomper Bully. Now they actually did a little TNT, the Gorilla. I can't think of the name of the Gorilla right now, but that one was kind of a unique deal. And I don't remember how you could get this Gorilla, but I can't remember. But they're different things I've found on the internet and things through the years. Here was just a cool big show truck, a big Chevy show truck, which there was the Pure Pride truck I talked about earlier. He had a Chevy pickup that was called Pure Pride also, and this reminds me of that, but I'm not sure if that's actually the official one or not. Here's another little generic 4x4 one, that kind of generic, but here's one that we put together for Shotgun Harry when we built Shotgun Harry back about 10, 11, 12 years ago, whenever it was. I was always kind of bummed. I thought these were going to be bigger than what they was. These are awful small, but they're still neat. We still have a few of them if somebody's interested in them. Now, getting to some cool stuff. Here's the IMTM Monster Truck Hall of Fame pin. And this one here, you know, anybody can buy. Now, getting back to the pins, here is the official membership pin from the International Monster Truck Museum Hall of Fame. So if you want to get one of these, you got to join the membership. Now, if you join the membership for $50, you also get a monthly newsletter, and you're in the loop. You get to find out about cool stuff that most people don't get to. We have articles every month of guys that maybe have been forgotten. Hopefully this jogs some memories for you. Keep you on the lookout for cool pins and stuff. Now this here was something about a year ago I found, which I thought was really neat on eBay, and it was the Beech Nut Beast, which there was a couple guys that had that sponsorship. Mike Vaughters at one point was a Beech Nut Beast and had you know, a truck painted up, and Beech Nut I think was a chewing tobacco, which nowadays doesn't even get, you know, marketed like that. But hey, if you've got other ones that you'd like to share with us or comments, tell us about your hat pin collection. If you've got some that we don't have, I'd love to know about it. Please share with us, comment, hit the like button, and let us know what you think. Just running down memory lane. Thanks for watching.